Hey everyone, it is late at night and I am Norman. One of you out there was kind enough to send in a watch as a gift to the channel, and the watch has arrived. Now when I saw this piece, I wasn't sure what I would think of it in person. It's a very interesting watch. It's a vintage Hamilton with an LCD display. Crazy. So tonight we'll look at this watch and I'll give you my first impressions of it. Then I'm going to spend some time with it and do a full review. Let's flip the camera around and take a look at it. Alright, so here's a closer look at the Hamilton. You can see that the dial has a little bit of wear on it. But yeah, it's so interesting to see an LCD display like that set into a case that's very Cartier style. In fact, the viewer that sent this in collects Cartier quartz tank watches. It seems he mainly purchases gold ones, and they look so brilliant. What a cool collection to just have a bunch of Cartier tanks. In fact, he's letting one of them go and asked me if I would be interested in it, and it was at a great price. However, sadly, I'm trying to scrape up money just in case I get a call on the Oyster Perpetual 36, so I had to pass this time. But I definitely want to add a Cartier to the collection at some point. So yeah, little LCD screens like this just remind me of $5 watches at gas stations. But this is a vintage watch, I would imagine maybe the 80s or something. And so when it came out, these were still kind of a novelty, I would imagine. And this is not a cheap, garbagey watch. It's really solid. But yeah, when I saw pictures, I was like, I wonder what I'm going to think of this watch. And I have to say, when it's on the wrist, it actually looks pretty cool. These gold squares on here kind of make it look sci-fi, which is such a weird combination. This dressy case, but the overall aesthetic of the watch is kind of space age looking, which is actually pretty cool. Sadly, the button that switches modes and does the time setting isn't working. I think it might need cleaned. That is also the case with my old Lightronics watch. The buttons that you press to set it, I think, are gummed up, so they don't quite work. So I guess I'll be doing a cleaning party, and I'll try and clean up the buttons on this and on the Hamilton. It's crazy how wide these lugs are. And that's just kind of a thing with square watches. Out of necessity, you kind of have to have your strap roughly as wide as your watch because of the shape. So these are like 24 millimeters. But along with this watch, he sent its original bracelet / strap. And I only say that because this works like a Milanese strap. Kind of like my Citizen with a car on here that you can move up and down and then pinch into place. And this is an amazing looking strap. The taper on there really helps to mitigate the width of it. It's nice and thin. I may have to put this watch back on this and see what it looks like. I think I'll do that for the review when I do that. He also sent one of the stretchy bracelets. And this has an interesting, almost coat of arms piece here. And it's in really great shape. None of the links are messed up at all. I may have to try this as well. I've never really worn one of these. It could be fun. But yeah, in person, this is a really interesting watch. I hope I can get that button to work. I guess worst case scenario, anytime I have to set the time on it, I can open up the case back and see if I can push the button directly on the module. We will find out. I just got this out of the mailbox today, so I haven't had a chance to open it up just yet. But let's see what this looks like on the wrist. Alright, so let me take off the Sheraton watch. And this is another gift to the channel. Such a great looking dive style watch. And I put it on the time grapher, and this movement is doing amazingly well. It's shockingly accurate, the amplitude looks great, and the beat error is good as well. So cool. It just needs the bezel fixed, because it moves around super easily, it doesn't click or anything. Other than that, this is just brilliant. Alright, so let me take this off, and we'll see what it's like when you're wearing the Hamilton. And here is the super interesting looking Hamilton on my 7-inch wrist. It actually looks pretty crazy in person. Look at that. I did not expect it to look as sci-fi as it does. That case is great. I can't wait to see it on its original metal strap. It's very, very Cartier looking in the case. Super crazy. Look at that. Yeah, that pattern on the face there around the display is pretty cool. And that's what kind of makes it look sci-fi, when you just kind of glance down at your wrist. So there you have it, the super unique, very interesting looking Hamilton watch. This thing is pretty cool. And that bracelet / strap that it was originally on is really cool looking. I may have to put it back on that. Thanks for watching.